All right. Arsenal, you have some huge injury boost, and it's all about Eberechi Eze. Now, no one expected him to return this weekend, but guess what? The manager of Arsenal has confirmed to us that Eberechi Eze is one of those players that has gone ahead to obviously show up, and he is ahead of schedule. That's what the manager has gone ahead to obviously tell us. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? I know you're watching us from, I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fantastic fun, and hope you're really loving what you are seeing from our side. Now, we are here, and we are going to be talking Eberechi Eze. We are going to be talking Hinkapie. We are going to be talking Saka. We are going to be talking Martin Odegaard and a player known as Julian Timber. Right? And I know you'll obviously love what we are obviously going to be talking about these players in here onto our channel. But don't forget to subscribe, because we want to hit 29,000 subscribers, and without you guys we can't obviously make that number or really meet that expectation in here onto a beautiful channel. So please do the needful, and obviously just keep it this Kiano. We head to what Arteta said about Eberechi Eze. He was asked on the boost of having Eberechi Eze back. He said he's a variable, he has been ahead of schedule. My first conversation with him after he felt an ego, he wanted to be available the next week. We knew that was impossible, but the recovery, the will that he's shown from day one of getting back as quickly as possible, how he's pushed the medical staff and himself to be there tomorrow, it's just great to watch. So that is it coming in from Eberechi Eze, and the manager is like, Eberechi Eze is back, and he has been ahead of schedule, and they never at any one point expected him to return early enough, but he has beat the timeline or the deadline, and he's here doing the needful in here onto the Rokani Media Football. And today at the Sobha Reality Training Center, he was there in person to obviously put out a very huge training effort to really send a message to the manager that, please, you have to throw me into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. That is it. So that's what the manager said about Eberechi Eze, and that hunger for him that he showed when Arsenal was really trying to see to it that they really keep him out for long. And no sooner he had obviously gone here to get an injury, and he was like, I can play. And remember, he last played for Arsenal when they are beating Bayer Leverkusen by 2-0 in a game where he went ahead to score a thriller. You know, that goal, you know, that acrobatic volley of him is still running in the minds of fans of Bayer Leverkusen, because it's that effort that really unlocked Arsenal, because Arsenal had 7 shots on target saved by the goalkeeper, and it looked like if they were to score him, it was supposed to be an ambush shot, and it did. That's what Eberechi Eze came up for, and it really went ahead to result into what we call a very beautiful goal for the club of Arsenal. Then Declan Rice went ahead to do the needful, and very unluckily, they are heading into the Carabao Cup finale, and every Arsenal fan would have gone ahead to obviously have a player in form like Eberechi Eze into that particular encounter, but Eze wouldn't obviously make it, and that's what the manager is going to say, that the player was like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to get into the team, and they were like, we cannot do that mistake. Remember, Arsenal are culprits of forcing players to play that season of 2023-2024. You remember what happened on a player known as Julian Timber. Got injured towards the end of the game they are playing against Nottingham Forest, and they forced him back, and he spent close to 8 months out without playing football. He got injured in August and returned, I think, in May. You understand? So That's exactly how things really went ahead to pan out for this guy. So Arsenal don't want to fall culprits of such mistakes that they went ahead to do in the previous seasons that went ahead to happen, and that really makes them good students of their own mistakes. Now, Arteta, on what he's grown to understand about Eberechi Eze lately. Now, this question was really important because others were criticizing him that he's not obviously giving him playing freedom. And he said, great question. So, one of them, I didn't know that he was so determined, so obsessed, and so willing to push his body. I didn't know that part of him, and it really surprised me in a really powerful way how much he loves the game. When you take somebody's opportunity to play, you really see their reaction. His was, wow, how involved he was in and around the team, the energy that he brings every day in the building, and then we use that time as well, obviously, to identify areas where he can impact the game, get his opinion wide and open about where he sees himself, where he's more comfortable, what he sees about the team, and I think we use that in time in a really good way. That's what the manager's going to have to say about Eberechi Eze. Now, obviously, when you're signing a player, there are bare minimums that you obviously need the player to obviously provide to your team, especially if at all you coming through and you are really playing that big role in there for you. But for Eberechi Eze, the manager is describing other qualities about him, because in the modern game, however much you have the physicality, you have to use it. There are players that really have the physicality and don't use it, and Eberechi Eze was one of those players. But I think knowing that he's competing with the captain of Arsenal for that position, I think it really awakened him as a player, and was like, all right, I need to obviously fight my way out and see to it that I really get into the team. And when Odegaard got injured, he really utilized that, and he was like, let me do exactly what Arteta has asked me to do. And I think I'll obviously find myself in proper shape to really claim that central attacking midfield position, or number 10 position for the club of Arsenal. That is it. So we love it at that, and I want to let you know that it's not business as usual. The coming in of Eberechi Eze is really gonna be very important. The big question is, will he come back with the form that he was or he had? That is the huge question that you're really waiting to see. Arteta on the spaces Eze was in when he was in form before he got injured. I've already told you the last game he really played for the club of Arsenal. Not so? And we've now been told that's on the attacking side. But there are other areas as well that obviously he didn't feel they were that important. All things that we discussed, and probably in other games he hasn't discussed as the vital and important to change games or to win football matches, that he recognizes now. He's such an intelligent player, and it's so easy to talk to him. So obviously that recklessness, being lazy, at a certain point. So there are parts of his game that I think Arteta never really liked, and he sat him and was like, please, look at these videos. I want you to play like this. You are playing at Arsenal and you're not playing at Crystal Palace. And I think that really made a very huge change into what Eze is like. And also, I didn't want to blame Eze a lot because he never had a prison in the club of Arsenal. He's from Crystal Palace, different formation, different position, and different demands from the team. What Arsenal needs as the season starts is different from what Crystal Palace needs. Crystal Palace just got blessed to obviously go ahead and really win what we call the FA Cup in there. But it was not in their making. It was not into their season starter that they're obviously going to be winning an FA Cup. They always fight for survival. That is Crystal Palace for you. So that's the difference in there for you. And I really understand when Arteta talks about the demands that he was telling Eberechi Eze to obviously put out on the field of play. So guys, that is it for Eberechi Eze. He is back. And he's one of those that the manager will use when they're playing against Bournemouth. That is on the weekend, that is tomorrow. From there, we obviously head to another set of players that the manager was asked about. And Arteta, on the availability of Saka, Odegaard, Timber, and Carafiori, he said, yes, there have been changes since yesterday. And that means these players are really having maybe something special for them to show up. And he said, Arteta, on if Saka, Odegaard, Timber, and Calafiori are all available, he said, I don't know, but some of them are really going to be available. That is it. So we wait and see how things pan out. But I think Calafiori, Odegaard, those two I think will be back. But Timber and Saka, I'm not really sure whether they'll be back or not. Arteta, on if Nkapie is still out, he said there will be changes tomorrow. So Nkapie is one of those that defends really very well. But for me, I really like Carafiori when he's being played as a left back for the club of Arsenal, as he offers a lot. You know, the composure, building from behind, you know. Even defensively, I think he's really good. Though Nkapie is really better defensively, but offensively, he's not really good. If you really tell me of a left back that balances the two very well, I there and then go in for a player known as Ricardo Carafiori. This season, as last season it was, injuries have gone ahead to catch up on him, and they've gone ahead obviously fail his season. But I tell you, if these injuries never showed up, there is no way you would have gone to let me know that there has been a better left back in the Premier League than this guy. The guy is really good. And indeed, he's a signing that was worth to bring him through at Arsenal, but injuries are really stopping his fluidity and really being one of those players that we can talk about as being the best when it comes to what they do best in the world. So that's all about Nkapie, but his return is really going to speak volumes to the fans of Arsenal because they love him. And as Arsenal heads into this weekend, I think anyone who plays left with it's Lewis Kelly, you know, he will obviously deliver. And where Arsenal is, they are at a time that every player has to come up and obviously offer what he has to offer. That is it. Push hard and hard and hard and hard and hard, and the rest will be history. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. I really had to bring in this story before I obviously do what we call the match reaction. Eberechi is back for Bournemouth encounter as the others are really in question, and the manager hasn't obviously gone ahead to give us a very huge update about them. So I'm returning with the match preview. So just stay locked in onto this channel, and you love what will obviously broadcast to you. I love you all. Second video of the day, more is yet to come. It might look like a marathon, but I don't know whether you are really ready for it, because in the next 1 hour we are dropping the match preview. Arsenal hosting Bournemouth in a game where if they win, they go 12 points clear ahead of City in there for you, and City is playing Chelsea over the weekend. So we out, and we say 5-finger salute to everyone watching in through. We love you all, and keep it Rokani Media Football. Bye-bye.